I'm just doing a regular old solving. It's more about organizing than anything else. So first thing I'm gonna do on this left side is distribute. So that 2x is all set. I'm gonna distribute the 3. I get plus 3x minus 6. Signs are a big deal here, so don't mess them up. Then you just have that minus 6. In this parentheses, you're just distributing this negative. If you want to think about it as a -1, please do so, but please do not distribute the 6. That would give me negative x plus 4. So just be careful once again with that sign. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Minus x is 4x. Okay. Negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. Plus 4 is negative 8. Okay, so the main goal of doing all that stuff is to get it down to a 2-step equation. I'm going to add my constants. I'm going to divide by 4. That does not divide evenly, so I will leave my answer as a fraction, but in this case I can reduce it. These are both divisible by 2. And my final answer would be 9/2. So please follow through. It's Monday, I haven't seen you in basically a week, so if you're making silly mistakes, those are things we do want to clear up. If nothing else, if you notice you did something wrong, please fix it. Looking back at incorrect notes is not good. Are there any questions on that warm-up? Fabulous. So last week we had, so I'm just getting used to kind of the Math Excel program too. So we had one assignment on like rational, irrational stuff and different types of numbers, and one on equations. Were there any questions or problems or issues with the program? Yep.
I was having trouble getting on like the Pearson's like website.
Like, could you sign in?
Like when I try to sign in, it would say like you need to register, and then I would, and then it said again.
So did you eventually get in, or did you not get in at all? Oh, okay. So we'll clear that up at the end. I'll look with you. Yeah, so if you're having issues, just let me know, because technology in general is great when it works. If it doesn't work, it is very frustrating. So kind of just bear with me as I'm learning new programs too. We're gonna kind of just get used to that one, and then we'll add in more as we go for our virtual days. So that was that. Once again, any major issues with Math Excel, let me know. I did update grades over the weekend. It was a fun 8-hour experience of going through all of everyone's virtual work. So please, like we've been here a week and a half. So make sure your assignments are done on time. So it's killing me when people are doing things late. I do give you 1 day that you can do it late. You get half credit. But once again, if you're just at home anyways, do your assignments on time. If you notice that I make a mistake in PowerSchool or Google Classroom, please just tell me. Just shoot me an email. Just give me all your information so I'm not searching for 10 minutes who you are and what class you're in. And I will fix that as soon as possible. The only thing that is not in PowerSchool is if you passed in your summer math packet. I still have to go through those at some point. It will get done, but it might be a few days. So I'm trying to play catch up here with a few things. But I just wanted to let you know about that. Keep checking PowerSchool. I will update grades as we go. Any question about grades in PowerSchool? Fabulous. So today we're going to do some word problems because you guys seem pretty comfortable with solving equations last week, so we got to jazz it up a little bit. So we will look at some specific word problems and how they're set up today, maybe into tomorrow. We'll see how long they take. One of the assignments this week will be for you to try some more word problems. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'll just have a worksheet with word problems. I'll just give it to you, and you can do it. I think it'll be a Thursday assignment. Okay. Or Friday. I don't know. I'll tell you which day. But sometimes, especially with handouts or printouts, I don't expect for you to have a printer. So if you don't have a printer, don't have a heart attack. For some of the ones that you do it on a piece of paper, I'll try to give it to you in advance. A lot of times, or sometimes I'll just scan it in and say do it on a separate sheet. But word problems, I like to kind of keep the work with the problem so you're not confused. So I'm going to project mine up just so I don't need to rewrite everything. Because that would be a big pain in the butt. You guys have yours out. No, I can't do that. Let's see if this works. Maybe I'll see right now. Okay. Sorry if there's a bad glare. We got the sun and the sun is not in front of the board. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see how this projects. Okay, actually that's fine. So you notice at the top there are some directions. Always read directions, no matter what you are doing. That is important. For each word problem, we are going to have a few steps that you should be doing. You should always define the variable. So what am I looking for? Don't just put X. X means nothing unless you define what it is. So we always define that first. We are always going to set up an equation. I got a little aggressive on the top. So you can see people don't do it sometimes. It makes me mad. So no equation. When we eventually have an assessment, there will be no credit. So the main goal of an algebra is to set it up algebraically. And then we're going to solve it. Excuse me. So we'll see some different setups. We'll go through, we'll try them. We'll see what problems there are. Our main goal is to just kind of practice and feel comfortable as we eventually move on. So number one, P.S. we're still not using calculators, so get excited to use your brain. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 84. Find the 3 consecutive integers. Okay, well, that's not bad. We just need to find 3 numbers that add to 84. Integers we talked about last week. It's like a number on the number line. It's the positives, but they're opposites as well. Consecutives means in a row. So like 1, 2, 3 are 3 consecutive numbers. So I want 3 integers in a row that equal 84. Sometimes you can just kind of guess, and that's great, but this class isn't called guessing class, it's algebra class. So I'm an organizer. I like to organize the info first. So for these ones, I'm trying to find 3 things. I'm gonna make a little chart. So you're gonna see me do this a lot. It's gonna be easier as we go to use this. So I need to find 3 things. The first number, the second number, and the third number. So basically this is me labeling my variables. What am I trying to find? I have no clue what the first number is. I can probably kind of estimate what it is, but I'm just gonna go in saying I have no clue. So that means my first number I'm just gonna label as X. If they are consecutive in a row, yep.
Then it would also be X.
No, because if it was also X, then X is just the same thing.
Okay.
So if I want the next number, what would I do to X? You would take X and you would add 1, right? Think about numbers in a row. If this was 3, the next number would be 3 plus 1, which is 4. The next number would be X plus 2. You just kind of keep going down until you get them. So consecutive means in a row. To get the next number in a row, you just add 1 to it. So we're gonna see a few more of these. So once again, today the big thing is just kind of, easing your way into it. I know a lot of people don't like word problems. If nothing else, just do a good job of writing down what we're doing together, because a lot of the ones later will look very similar to these. But we need that doesn't really help me. We just defined our variables. We need to actually find them. So I'm gonna set up an equation. The sum, which means if I add these 3 things together, is 84. So that's where I'm getting my equation from. I go back and just say, what am I doing with those 3 things? I'm finding the sum of them, so I'm adding them up and setting it equal to 84, and now I can actually solve for X. So that gives me what, 3X plus 3, plus 3, equals 84. I'm gonna subtract 3. 3X equals 81. I'm gonna divide. 3 is 20. Sorry, I'm trying to do long division in my head here. 6 is 2 is 1 is 27?
Yep.
Okay. Might take a second, I know, but we gotta retrain our brains to think here. So now we need to have, the answer is not 27. The answer is, what are the integers? That's one of them. So that's why I like this chart, it kind of organizes everything. If x is 27, then x plus 1 is 28, and x plus 2 is 29. So if I added those three numbers up, that would give me 84. You can just give me your answer like that. That's why it's nice kind of organizing it. It's set up for you, you just fill it in and you're good. Sorry. I'm just finding my answer key, so I'll make sure I have it with me. All right, so those are your three consecutive integers. You will see ones later somewhere that talks about consecutive integers. So you'll know, hey, I know we did one like that, refer back to it. So that's why we're taking these together, so you have some references to go back to. Are there any questions with one? All right, number 2. The sum of three numbers is 123. Kind of sounds similar to the first one. We're not talking about consecutive numbers though, so it's set up a little different. The second number is 9 less than 2 times the first. The third is 6 more than 3 times the first. What's the third number? I'm looking for 3 things. I'm going to set up a chart. The charts help me organize my information. Since I'm looking for 3 things, I have 3 rows. I'm just looking for numbers again, so I'll just say the first number, second number, third number. All right. I know once I have like one of their variables, I'll add them up because it says the sum is 123. It says the second number is 9 less than 2 times the first. So the second number is being compared to the first number. Can anyone guess, should I put X for the first number or for the second number? I feel like that was just a lot of words. I don't even know what I just said.
First.
Yes. So whatever you're comparing to, so see how we're comparing the second number, blah, 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 then the first is going to be your X. So whatever you're comparing to is your X. The second is 9 less than 2 times the first. So 2 times the first is 2X. Just be careful with 9 less, it's minus 9, it's not 9 minus. But it's just taking those key words, math words that we've heard before, and trying to set up an expression. And then the other sentence says the third number is 6 more than 3 times the first. So we know the first is X, 3 times the first is 3X, and then 6 more than that. So it's a lot of just, once again, a lot of math, is just organizing what you got. I like the chart because it kind of helps me put everything together. And now I need to go back and write an equation. It tells me the sum of these 3 numbers is 123. So I'm going to add these 3 numbers up. And I'm going to set it equal to 123. I'm going to give you a second. Can you please solve that? I'm just taking attendance as you guys are. And Haley. Beautiful. So let's do a quick check. I'm not going to show the word. What did X come out to? 11? Is that what I don't think I got 11.
I do.
Okay, let me do the workout, because now I'm gonna confuse myself. Ready? X, 2x, 3x would give me 6x. -9 plus 6 would give me -3. I'm gonna add 3. 6x equals 126. And once again, 126 divided by 6, 6 goes into 12 twice. And then 6 goes into that 1, so I got 21. You must have just been wrong with something with the tens there, so be careful. Technically, this only asks what's the third number. I'm just gonna fill it in. Actually, no, I didn't. So this is 21. If you wanna fill in the other ones, that's great. That would end up being 69. If you wanna put the second, great, you don't need to, because it doesn't technically ask for it. So always just read the answer, don't do more work than you have to. Okay. So let's set up one more kind of similar to this. So we're kind of just getting used to that idea. Okay, we have to find 3 things. The chart's going to help us organize ourselves. So can we put what we have into that chart, and then can we set up an equation based off of it? So let's try one more with the chart. And then we have a few other ones where it's kind of just like a regular little setup. So in number 3, we have a triangle. Exciting. We have 3 angles, A, B, C. Angle A is 4 times as large as B, and C is 20 less than B. Find the measure of each angle. So I'm just going to write A, B, C over here. I noticed that when it's telling me that information, they're both being compared to B. So B is going to be my X. And you can use it, if you want to use B as a variable, go for it. I don't have it use X. So A is 4 times as large as B. So A would be 4X. C is 20 less than B, so just be careful. It's not 20 minus X, it's X minus 20. So if you're 20 less than something, you're taking away from that. I should have been more specific, but I don't know if you've probably seen triangles in the past. The angles of a triangle add to 180 degrees. So I wouldn't expect you to know that. I would put it on your sheet or assessment or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, these 3 angles are going to add to 180. So I'm going to take these and add them up and set it equal to 180. Now I'm going to be nice to you today. This does come out to a fraction. I'm just going to tell you the answer, okay? So you don't have to sit there and hurt your brain too much. If I solve this, X comes out to 33 1/3. So remember, X over here is 33 1/3. I'll try not to be too mean with numbers and coming out to fractions, don't work problems, that's just. If I multiply 33 1/3 by 4 to get angle A, it comes out to 133 1/3. And if I take 20 away, that would be 13 1/3. So I did some of the work out for you just because I've already done it out. It was a fraction, so to not torture you too much on a Monday, if you'd like to do it out, you can feel free to, but that's that. So main goal is just kind of start to get used to those charts and organizing the information. Are there any questions with 1 through 3? Okay, let's try a few more. I'm going to skip around a little bit just to see ones that are kind of different, and then we can always go back and pick up what we need. Once again, I'm sorry in advance, because usually we'd be working together, and life is just kind of boring now. So I'm sorry if I'm boring you. Word problems aren't the most fun thing unless you're a math teacher. So just bear with me. There's just kind of stuff we have to get through. Move on. Okay, so number 4, we're not going to do a chart. We're just going to ask for one thing. We're going to just set up an equation. So Joe is going to a Patriots game and spends 1/3 of her money on snacks. Sounds pretty good. 2/5 of her money on souvenirs. She spent a total of $66. How much money did she bring to the game? So no chart, we're just kind of talking about one thing. Before we start, in the chart, it was nice because it labeled everything for us. In this case, we need to label what we're looking for. So I'm gonna say X is going to represent, and if you don't know, read the question. How much money did she bring to the game? So my X is how much money she brought to the game. I do expect to see that when we eventually have an assessment. If you don't have that, you will get a point drop, so it's something you want to get into the habit of doing. So what am I looking for? So now let's go through and kind of say, how do I use that variable with the information given to write an equation? So she goes to the Patriots game. She spends 1/3 of the money she brought to the game on snacks. So it makes sense that X would go with that. It's 1/3 of that money she brought. And she spent 2/5 of the money she brought to the game on souvenirs. So it should make sense that X goes with both of those because it's a fraction of the money that she brought. And she spent a total of $66. So we have a nice equation. We try to stay as organized as possible. Just as a reminder, to solve this equation, since I see those fractions, I'm gonna multiply everything by the common denominator. In this case, it would be 15. When I say everything, even the 66, if you're doing that process, gets multiplied by 15. So just as a heads up, everything, even the 66 is technically just over 1, you still have to multiply it. So once again, I'm cross-reducing. In my head, I say 15 divided by 3 is 5, times 1 is 5x. 15 divided by 5 is 3, times 2 is 6x. I have no clue what 66 times 15 is. It's 30. Is 33. Is 6. Is 6. Is 6 and 8, 9. 990? That makes sense? Maybe? Yeah. From here, it's just a quick solve because 11x equals 990. And when we divide, that would give me $90. So I would label my answer, she brought $90 to the game. I know, I'm gonna show Marcia on a test or quiz, if I say no calculators, I'm not gonna give you huge numbers, like I feel you, it's just annoying. But for now, you can remember things like how to multiply numbers. That is stuff we do assume that you know. Give you a second in case you're catching up, I don't wanna rush anyone. What time are we at? Sorry, I can't keep the schedule straight. Okay, perfect. We can do a few more, and then we'll just take a few minutes. I have some aggressive ones on the back. We might save those ones for tomorrow. We'll just do 5 and 6. Some of these I'm just gonna set up with you, and then I'll give you a few minutes at the end to go back and solve some stuff. Or you can kind of do it later. I can't remember what else I was gonna tell you, but we'll go there. So we'll do 5. We have a rectangular picture frame. It has a perimeter of 44 centimeters. The width is 8 centimeters longer than the length. What are the dimensions? And this one, I am comparing length and width. When I see that, I'm gonna make a chart. It just makes more sense in my brain. If you have something else that you stay organized, go for it. But I'm just gonna do width and length. Okay, so it tells me the width is 8 centimeters longer than the length. Since I'm comparing to length, that's X. And the width is 8 centimeters longer, so that would just be X plus 8. So let's visualize. Right? We have it, you guys know what a rectangle looks like. I'm just gonna kind of do it over here. We have a rectangle. we're saying one side's X and one side's X plus 8, it doesn't really matter which is which. How do I find the perimeter of a rectangle? Yes, sir.
You add all sides.
Add all the sides up. So please do not just add X and X plus 8 and say you're done. You need to remember that if this is X, this is X. And if this is X plus 8, that's X plus 8. So sometimes drawing a little picture might help, especially when we're talking sometimes with rectangles and area and perimeter, it gets a little funky. But when we write the equation, we need to add up all the sides. So we have X, doesn't really matter what order you put them in, plus X plus 8, plus X plus X plus 8. As long as you have them each counted twice, you're good. We know the perimeter is 44. So our main goal is to solve for X, because once we solve for X, we can plug it back in and find the dimensions. So I'm gonna kind of move to the next one. You can finish, I don't really care. We'll finish them in a minute, though, I'll give you minutes. So 6, you have a 90-pound calf, you're raising for a 4-H project. So 4-H is like a, I don't know what the H actually stands for, but they do environmental things like raising. You expect that the calf will gain 65 pounds per month, and how many months will it weigh 1,000 pounds? Okay. So this one, I'm not really comparing anything. I'm just trying to find in how many months will it weigh 1,000 pounds. So I'm gonna say X is number of months. You can always get that, what is the question? That's what I'm labeling. So this is kind of, I feel like this is like a more standard word problem. The calf is 90 pounds. It's gaining 65 pounds per month, so it should make sense that the X goes with the 65. And I want to know, when will it weigh 1,000? That's kind of just more basic, like you just take some information, you throw it in the equation, there's nothing really fancy about it. Type of problem. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes. It's like so hot today, I'm struggling. See how far you can get with solving. We'll look at 1 or 2 on the back. We're not gonna finish the whole back today. We will finish some of it tomorrow and then go into some other stuff as well. They get a little trickier as we go on the back. So I'll kind of give you a minute or 2. Let me know if you need anything, whether it is help on this, if you just have a question on something else. Evan, right?
Yeah.
Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Try to sign on to MathXL. I just want to see what it looks like. It's more, I just need to like troubleshoot with you. Because I'll see if you need like an extra code. I did have a few people that had to like re-sign up. I don't know why, so.
Yeah, I think that I have to do that. I tried resigning up too, and it just didn't.
Okay. Yeah, just get it up, try to sign in and see what it looks like.
Alright, so I'm in the Math Excel right now, so I do sign in, right?
Yep. See if you can remember. Hold on, let me just check. If I can look at it and see. This is- Yeah, it doesn't even say you're signed up yet. So you're gonna have to go through that whole sign up process again.
So do I go like register?
Yes. So I'm going to send it to you right now. Give me 1 second here. Do you have a school email address?
Mhm.
what is it? What's your E?
It's Evan
Evan?
L 2024.
Oh, two, okay, I got you. Subject. Alright, I just emailed you. It has directions how to do it, you need the two codes, you know, the course ID and then another code. But I tried to put them in order, so whether you do it now or later or whenever, just try to go on that again, okay? Alright, so just gonna kind of put the answers up, I'm not gonna go through every step, you got, oh gosh, I'm just showing you all my emails, nothing is too exciting here, I was just getting the, oh, where am I? I'm losing my mind. I was just trying to get those quotes ready. So, I'm just gonna kind of give you the answers, if we're not agreeing on an answer, or you've got something different, please let me know, I'm happy to go through the steps, but in general, you should be able to kind of solve a few-step equation, but if there's an issue, I would like to know. So when you solve for x in this one, x should come out to 7. People got that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you get it, let me know, I can help you. Reminder, that's not your final answer. Your final answer is what's the length and width. The nice thing is it's nicely labeled here. So x is 7. This is centimeters, so we always try to label with a measurement. And then for the width, I'm gonna do 7 plus 8, which would give me 15 centimeters. And that is my final answer. But I see it nicely labeled, I can tell what's what, so you're good there.
Could you also write it as 7 centimeters by 15 centimeters?
Beautiful, yeah, if you said that, that would be delightful. With the dimension 7 by 15. And then the last, or number 6, you just are solving that one, two-step equation, and it should be 14 months. Any question on that one? Any questions here? So we're just getting back into it. I know word problems can be a little bit tricky. So can you flip to the back? We'll maybe just do 1 or 2 more. And go from there. Whatever we don't get to, we can get to tomorrow. Not a big deal.
Which ones are we doing?
We'll just do 7 to start, and then we'll see if we have time for another one. I'll kind of help you though. Some of these are a little fantastic here as we move on. I had to make them a little bit hard. So number 7 isn't that bad. We just have to be careful with how we set it up. So we have 6 friends. They're each going to use a $2 off coupon to buy a movie ticket. Delightful. They spend a total of $42. What is the price of one movie ticket without the coupon? And once again, I always label. X is the price without a coupon. Be as specific as you can, because it will make more sense as we go. So we know we have 6 friends. Now, I can't just write 6x, right? Because if I just wrote 6x, it would be 6 friends, but x is the price without the coupon. I want the price with the coupon, and I know that each coupon took $2 off the price. How the heck would I write that? Can anyone guess?
6x minus 12. Because there's 6 friends.
Yeah, go back a step. How did you get 6x minus 12?
Well, there's 6 friends.
Yeah.
And they all use the coupons, so 6x with the 6 friends. And then since they all use a $2 off coupon, each. I did 6 times 2 to get -12.
Exactly, so this is what you did, you're just doing this step ahead of me.
Oh,
You took 6, and then for each, ticket, we're taking $2 off, so you just distributed it. I would still give that to you, if you wrote 6x minus 12, I know what's going on in your head there. But just as a, I don't know, going back to the original here. 6 people, the price without the coupon is the X, but I'm taking $2 off of each of those, just be careful. We just want the $2 off the price, so that does go in parentheses. Parentheses is a big thing when we set up. Once again, if you had written 6x minus 12, I'd give it to you. That's still a perfectly fine equation. And that would be equal to 42. So you guys can solve that one. I'm just gonna give you the answer while we're sitting here. So as you're solving, your answer should be $9. So without the coupon, that means they each spent $7 at the movies that day, because they took their $2. So 8's gonna be our last one. It's gonna be fun. And then we'll save some of the other fun fraction ones for tomorrow. Or just 9 and 10, so that's not that bad. So a scientist needs 10, okay, this is gonna get crazy. Needs 10 liters of a 20% acid solution. So they need to make some sort of special solution. I don't know, they're a scientist, they're fancy. But she only has a 5% solution and a 40% solution, so she's gonna have to mix them together to make this fancy thing that she needs. To the nearest tenth of a liter, so we'll do that when we're solving. How many liters of 5% and 40% solution should you mix to get the solution that she needs? Okay, so this one's a little confusing, and we actually do this problem kind of a lot randomly, but it kind of pops up a lot. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, what the heck am I looking for? Like, there's a lot going on, I'm a little confused. So you just have to choose one. I'm gonna say X is the number of liters. I'm gonna say of the 5% solution. Just pick one of the solutions, it doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna say it's of the 5%. If you chose 40%, yours would just look a little different. So let's think about it. We have the 5% solution. Whenever we plug into equations, we write percentages as decimals. So instead of writing 5%, I'm gonna write it as 0.05. So we have this 5% solution. And I'm saying right now, X is just how, I don't know how much of it we have yet, so I'm just gonna write 0.05X. Now here's where, it's not necessarily tricky, you just have to think about it. We also have the 40% solution. But right now, I don't want another variable, I don't want a Y as well. I have nothing to, if there's 2 variables, I can't solve it. So I need to relate the amount of 12% solution back to X. So just bear with me while I explain this, and then we'll do more of this later. There are 10 total liters. Okay. If there's X amount of the 5% solution, then this is always gonna be the total minus X. So think about it, if there's 3 liters of this, there have to be 7 of that, because 10 minus 3 is 7. If there's 1 of this, there'd have to be 9 of that, because 10 minus 1 is 9. So it's just a different way of thinking, and it's more just so we can get in one variable. So if you have one variable is X, the other one would be your total minus X. Something we'll get used to, just bear with me as we do this first one. And then we're gonna set it equal to, we need a 20% solution. And just like with all of these, you have the percent, and then you have how much you need. The percent, how much you need. In this case, you do the percent, and then we need 10 liters of it. Once again, if you're like, I have no clue what's going on, just write it down for now, don't freak out about it. We'll do more of these as we go. And I actually don't even think when you do them on your own, there's not even one of those, so don't have a hard time. So take a second, see how much of that you can solve. It's gonna be kind of annoying, I'm sorry in advance. Hello. Hey, what's up? So. minutes late, so I marked him tardy. He sits by the door, so I wasn't able to hear him. And then at the end, he texted in, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was reporting the next time, I was like, so I found to let you know. So, there you go. I just wanted to let you know. Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, we only have about a minute left. I'm gonna give you the answer if you haven't gotten it, and maybe I won't because I closed my thing. Not sure. That's not what I wanted. Okay, maybe it is what I wanted. Oh, I took it out. No wonder I can't find it. It's over here. And it should have come out to 5.7. Once again, that was kind of mean because we got all decimals. 5.7 liters of the 5% solution, because remember that's what X represents. And once you know if there's 5.7 liters of the 5% solution, if we do 10 minus that, there's 4.3 liters of the 40%. If that one just overwhelmed you, just write it down. No freak out. It's gonna be okay. We'll do more like that. So all I ask is you bring that back tomorrow. There's 2 more problems on there. We'll finish those up. And we'll see if there's any other questions.